What's going on, Wolfpack? It's the Alpha Wolf, Dameon Macleod. I'm back. Always back. Now, I'm gonna give you guys some real good information along with today's workout video, my workout footage. Like I said, this is Project Bulk. I'm currently at about 168 right now. Mid 160s. I'm not sure exactly. I have to weigh myself again. I keep forgetting to weigh myself. When I was on my cut, I would weigh myself, all the time. Now that I'm bulking, I kind of neglect it, I'm human just like the rest of you guys. Yeah, but neglecting to get on that scale in the morning. I'll go ahead and eat something. After I eat, I seem to remember. So it's too late by then. You don't want to start guessing. So gonna throw in some good information for you guys, and as you can see here on the bench press, I'm going rather light again, staying under 200. You already know the reason why if you watched the previous video. If not, heavy lifting the week before. What comes with heavy lifting, you get shoulder issues or achy joints. So instead of lifting and pushing yourself to the point of risking injury, lighten up the weight. So, I don't want to lose, any progress. I don't want to just completely not do any exercise for any movement or for any body part at all if I have an aching issue. If it's not too bad, the remedy for that, lighten up the weight, but still get the work in there, still try to work the muscles. But if it's something that's like, you got a real aching pain where you can't even lift your arm, or if your knee is just jacked, you know your body more than anyone else. If you feel jacked, then, go ahead and take a step back. Let your body recover up. Do an alternate exercise, work other body parts. But for my situation, my arms are, dying of pain. Just a little achy. So, lighten up the weights, give yourself a chance to recover. Now I want to throw some information at you all real fast. Carbohydrates, very quickly. Carbohydrates are energy source. It's like gasoline in a vehicle to a point. Without gasoline, your vehicle's not going to run. Without carbohydrates, your body's not going to run at its optimal, as good as it can. You can still move, and function without carbohydrates, but you're going to feel like crap. Anyone who's ever done a low carb diet, know exactly what I'm talking about. So, with that said, stay away from processed carbohydrates, meaning processed foods, carbohydrates that come in a box, and things of that nature. It gives you problems, obesity, heart disease, insulin issues, just overall poor health. Not to mention, it has MSG. A lot of these things have MSG, and very quickly, I'm not going to break down the chemical compounds of MSG. But what it does is it tricks your brain into thinking you are hungry when you are actually full. So you can eat a nice sized meal, but if the food that you're eating is laced with chemical G, and I say laced with MSG, the chemical salt, not soon after you're going to be feeling hungry again. You're going to be craving more food, which entails going to increase, obesity. If you're cutting, you really want to stay away from MSG foods because you're already trying to put your body in a caloric deficit. And if you're eating MSG foods, you're going to be hungry, which means you're going to keep throwing food down. It's going to mess up everything you were trying to do. It's very counterproductive. You can find MSG in canned foods and also in freezer type foods like TV dinners and things like that. So try to stay away from it. An alternative food you should go for is fresh fruit, potatoes, brown rice, yams, anything from nature. Try to get your carbohydrates from sources such as that. Then you're going to be running at more optimal, and down the line you won't have these health issues. Because out of nowhere, this is life. Out of nowhere, something can pop up. Putting this crap into your body. You might be able to go a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months to a year, 2 years before you see any symptoms, and all of a sudden, boom, something happens. So You know, it starts from day one. I know some people say, "Oh, do whatever you want to do and do this and that," and no, you can, but like I'm saying, I'm here to give you guys advice. I'm gonna shoot you straight. Try to put good stuff into your body, and like they say, you are what you eat. You eat shit, you're gonna be shit. If you eat good, hey, everything's all good. So keep that in mind, everybody. Alright, so I'm doing the shoulder raises right now. Every time I walk into the gym, I don't leave unless I do this exercise. Unless I have an injury with the shoulder, then I won't. But let's just say 98% of the time, I'm doing these. Now, this is bodybuilding. It's all about building your body. It's not about what other people want to see from you. This is your life. I want big shoulders. I want my shoulders to overshadow my biceps and my triceps. So I do a lot of work on my shoulders. I have the 100 rep days. I'll do 100 reps on a particular exercise just to build it up. And I've actually done that exercise more for my delts than I have for any other body part. But like I said, I want my shoulders to overshadow everything else, so you have to put in extra work in order to get the look that you're going for. So one day I'm in the gym and I noticed this bar here that I'm working with. I don't know what it's called, it's not labeled, but there are two of them. I didn't know at the time there were two. There's one that's really long, and it's more for doing the pull downs, and I always see it. So out of nowhere, I saw this one, and I'm thinking to myself, like, wasn't this thing a lot longer before? Not knowing there were two. So I picked it up, examined it for a minute, and came to the conclusion that, hey, I can probably get a nice tricep workout out of this bar. So for the last 2 months, I've been doing this exercise you see here. You can either do the hammer grip with it, or you can put your hands, rather wide with the palms down and do press downs, or you can actually bring the hands in medium, and you can also bring them in right to the center, where you're holding the middle of it where the cable connects, and do press down. So you can do a lot of different tricep exercises with this. If you have this in your gym, I recommend you give it a shot. So sometimes I superset the shoulders with the tricep press downs, depending on what tricep exercises I'm doing. So I maxed out to my maximum amount of sets on the shoulder raises, but halfway through there I decided to save some time and I have the energy because I had the good carbs, and went ahead and threw the press downs in there too to get a nice superset going. So supersets are very good if you're looking to save time or just to get that intensity. Sometimes your workout may be a little flat. Throw in a superset. It's gonna, it's definitely gonna knock things up another notch. So give that a try also. Any Superman fans out there? Man, I'm a big fan of Superman. Best superhero of all time. And I also want to throw this in there. Superman kicks Goku's ass every single time. Hey, just saying. But I can't wait for the Superman Batman movie to come out pretty soon, man. That's gonna be the shit. Definitely gonna check that out. Now, the bare minimum for building overall strength is 3 lifting days per week. Now, for me, I like to do a lot more than that. Coming up, growing up as a kid, when I first started working out, I would read fitness magazines and they would always throw caution in your face. Don't overtrain, don't overtrain. 4 sets of 10 is all you need. That's 40 reps. That ain't shit. Let's be honest here. In reality, overtraining is a positive, where magazines and these companies would make it seem like a negative, and then they would say, okay, if you overtrain, you're going to need to buy our product, buy this, buy that, in order to compensate for your high level of training. It was all basically a marketing tool, pretty much. In reality, overtraining is a positive. It's what I do. It's how you get gains. Lifting weights builds muscle. So think about that. You lift a bit more than the guy next to you, you're going to get more muscles in later on down the road because you were doing more. So, you can't overtrain. No human is going to get to that level where you're just doing 10,000 reps and you're just like fucking about to fall over and your arm's going to fall off. No. And that, I wouldn't even call that overtraining, because I don't want to associate the word with a negative. I would just call that like doing way too much. You know, go in there, you have to get your days in, you have to be consistent, you have to up your volume. The more you do, the more you're going to get out of it. Now, you also have to have your diet in check. You have to keep the nutrients flowing. You have to keep your system running optimal. Get your carbs, get your fats, get your sugars, keep your hormones in check. Get your protein in there. All those things are vital, you know. But overtraining is not a negative thing. I want to take overtraining and put it into the category of the norm, what you need to do. And I still see comments on channels where people say, "No, you're doing too many sets, too many reps." And the person that's putting out the comment might not even lift weights at all. You have to get in there and get a first-hand, hands-on experience with this thing. Overtraining, like I said, me growing up and doing tons of reps, not even having the fitness knowledge that I know now, because I know a lot of stuff now. Back when I was a kid, you know, 13, 14, I was on my own, and I was just doing the most, you know, I can to get muscle, and it works. It definitely works. So stick with that type of mindset. Don't let anyone put in your head that, oh, you're doing too much. You know, you just let them sit there and be ordinary. You want to be extraordinary. You want to put your foot down and just, you know, take off. I'm trying to motivate you guys here, you know. Get in there and work. Don't go in saying, well, I can't do those because if I do that exercise there, I just did those standing bicep curls and I did the preacher curl machine. So if I go do some cable curls, I mean, I might be overtraining. No, go and do the cable curls, you know. And you don't have to do 50 different exercises for a body part. You can do, you say if you do 5 sets of preacher, 5 sets of preacher, then 5 sets of standing dumbbell curls, or 5 sets of barbell curls, you know. Try to do 10 sets of preachers, you know, and maybe 5 sets of just standing curls, you know. You're still working the muscle. You don't have to do 50 different exercises. All the different exercises are just to keep you from getting bored, you know. You can switch it up if you want. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do this exercise or you shouldn't do that exercise. But if you like doing cable curls, you know, get the bar hooked to the cable. If you like doing that, then do a lot of that. You know, everybody has the thing they like to do, you know. You don't have to do what the next guy is doing. If you like doing preacher curls, or that machine, the preacher curl machine feels good to you, do a ton of preacher curls. Make that your base, you know. Find something that you like to do. But you don't have to do 50 different exercises in a workout. You can, but you don't have to. So I just want to get that out there to you guys. Alright, so I'm doing some maintenance work now. I had that injury from the bench press a while back, and I have a slight imbalance. My right chest and tricep is slightly smaller than the left, so in order to compensate and build that up, I do the one arm extensions. Either I'll do this, or I'll do the rope, or I'll do, you know, some sort of movement, just emphasizing that right tricep to build it up. And also, the right chest is slightly smaller. Now, it's not something you can see, you know, just by looking at me that quick. You have to really stand there and stare at me to notice it. So it's not that bad, but you know, I want to work on it. I don't want it there at all, so I'm working on it. Now, there's a dip machine that I do. I did in a few videos ago. If you go back and watch, I only do the right arm. So I get on there and I press down. I'm working the chest and the tricep at the same time. So I do that from time to time just to keep this side, just to build up my right side in order to catch up to the left. So I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. If anyone wants to message me for online coaching, you know, check my email in the description or on my Facebook fan page. But yeah, tonight was a good workout. I'm going to get some food in, hungry, and, you know, got to get ready for the next day. But with that said, get into the gym, guys. Do work and muscle up.